The White House is once again standing at the edge of war. President Donald Trump has signaled that the United States may step in to assist anti-government protesters in Iran as unrest there enters its third violent week and the death toll reportedly climbs into the thousands. According to the Washington Post, senior administration officials on Tuesday convened behind closed doors to weigh military and non-military options without the president in the room. Trump, meanwhile, sent a message that negotiations with Tehran are over. In a blunt social media post early Tuesday, the president said he had canceled all meetings with Iranian officials. Hours later, he escalated the rhetoric even further, declaring online, "Help is on its way," followed by a slogan echoing his own political brand, "Make Iran Great Again." But behind the scenes, the picture is far less certain. The Washington Post reported that Trump is privately conflicted. Some advisors describe his mood as cautious, even hesitant, a sharp contrast to the confidence he projected before authorizing U.S. bombings of Iran's nuclear facilities last June. The stakes could not be higher. Activists and opposition outlets operating under an Iranian government internet blackout estimate around 12,000 people have been killed as security forces crush demonstrations. Trump has repeatedly warned that continued violence against protesters could trigger U.S. military action. Yet many of his political allies are urging restraint. They warn that striking Iran could entangle the U.S. in another prolonged Middle Eastern conflict, the very scenario Trump once promised to avoid under his America First doctrine. Critics fear a miscalculation, a failed operation, or the collapse of Iran's government could leave behind chaos, civil war, or an even more radical regime. National Security Council officials are preparing options ranging from harsher economic sanctions and cyber attacks to direct strikes against Iranian security forces. European allies say Washington has quietly asked for intelligence on potential targets, though officials insist nuclear facilities are not currently on the list. Iran's defenses are already weakened after Israeli airstrikes last year and a brief U.S.-Israeli war in June. But the Pentagon remains deeply concerned about retaliation. American military assets in the region are limited, stretched thin by recent operations in Venezuela. Despite the public saber-rattling, diplomacy appears frozen. Gulf states like Oman and Qatar have attempted to mediate and received no response. Inside Trump's own coalition, the fault lines are growing. Steve Bannon has warned that intervention would prolong the problem, while others cautioned that Trump risks alienating his MAGA base if American troops or aircraft are drawn into another war. For now, the president is keeping his intentions deliberately vague, but as protests rage, bodies mount, and the world watches, the question remains unanswered: whether Donald Trump will step back or push the United States into yet another conflict.
So we had great numbers introduced today. We had a wonderful speech in front of great people in Detroit, and mostly in the car business, and we're setting records in manufacturing. It's going very well. I think people appreciated what I had to say in terms of the numbers. So we're very happy about that. I'm going back to the White House now. We're going to look at the whole situation that's going on in Iran. It's really bad stuff. Minnesota is going to have to take care of itself for a little while. We have tremendous theft and fraud going on in that state because you have an incompetent governor, grossly incompetent governor, and a corrupt governor. But we'll straighten that out. But Iran is on my mind when I see the kind of death that is happening over there, we think. So we're going to get some accurate numbers. I'll have it in about 20 minutes. We'll get some accurate numbers as to what's happening with regard to the killing. The killing looks like it's significant, but we don't know yet for certain. I'll know within 20 minutes. So, and we'll act accordingly.
U.S. airstrikes, if it comes to that, will have the result of protecting the protesters?
Well, you never know, do you? You never know.
Do you think it's...
So far, my track record's been excellent, but you never know.
Do you think it's going to be something kinetic like that, or more like cyber? Or
well, I can't tell you that. I know exactly what it would be. We have to make a decision.
Sir,
but I can't be. Obviously, I can't be telling you.
Timeline? Yeah.
Iran says that it will retaliate in the instance of U.S. strikes against U.S. assets in the Middle East. What do you say to U.S. service members about why it's worth the risk to intervene in Iran?
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew them up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer. So Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
Mr. President, on Iran, do you have a message for the leaders currently of Iran?
Yeah, the message is they've got to show humanity. They've got a big problem, and I hope they're not going to be killing people. And I'm going to have a report very soon. It would seem to me that they have been badly misbehaving, but that is not confirmed.
So are you committing not to sending U.S. troops into Iran?
Why would I tell you that? Why would I? I don't talk about military strategy with a reporter, you know, even though I do like the Financial Times.
Are you consulting with our allies regarding Iran? What are they telling you, and why do you think the Iranian...
Well, I'm not going to tell you what they're telling me. I don't tell you what they...
Why do you think the Iranian airship continues to defy you, Mr. President?
You think they are?
Well,
it's only been a couple of days.
They continue to kill protesters.
Well, they said that about Venezuela, too, you know. It's only been a couple of days. They haven't defied me. They haven't done anything as far as we're concerned. But it looks like they're killing a lot of people, but it has not been confirmed. I'll know very soon.
Freelancer, the premier of Freelancer today, we prefer to stay with Denmark. You see that as the...
Who said that?
The premier of Freelancer.
Well, that's their problem. That's their problem. I disagree with them. I don't know who he is. Don't know anything about him. But that's going to be a big problem for him.
Do you want to see democracy in Iran?
Ideally, you'd like to see it, but what we want to see is we don't want to see people killed, and we want to see a little bit of freedom for these people. These people have been living in hell for a long time. You know, that used to be a hell of a country. I have friends that used to invest in Iran, and they did well with their investments. It was a great place. The people were great. Even the leadership was good. And now it's living in hell. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir.